Hello, bourbon fans. I'm Tim, the Suburban Dad. I apologize if I look a little bleary-eyed today. It's because I am. I'm not on drugs. My 5-year-old woke me up at 1 a.m. this morning, yelling over the monitor, "Dad, Dad!" So I go hurrying in there. "Dad, I want a hug." Which is the cutest form of very manipulative stall tactics. And so I gave him a hug, and he realized that his Lego Charizard had fallen apart, and he said, "Dad, can you help me fix it?" I said, "Nope, goodbye." I went back to bed, but didn't fall back to sleep. Anyways, what were we talking about? Bourbon. Yes, let's get to it. So today I want to talk about how much money should you spend on bourbon. And I don't mean what's a reasonable price for a particular bottle, but what's a reasonable expectation as to like a bourbon budget. And today I've got High West's American Prairie bourbon that I'll sip on. 92 proof here, about, oh gosh, this is a gift from a friend. I think the 750 ml bottle is around 40, 45, somewhere in there. Pretty easy to find around here in Missouri. Pretty light color, nothing too exciting. Decent nose, a little bit high on the ethanol notes. Oak, some caramel, some spices. Yeah, okay, let's have a sip. It's okay. It's decent. I'll drink it. I would never buy another bottle. So, thank you, friend, for the gift, but I definitely wouldn't buy it again. It's kind of dry and oaky on the palate. Again, ethanol notes, not really inviting, and some caramel on the back end, but nothing exciting. So, bourbon. It really depends on what your goal is, or just what you want to do with bourbon, because that'll dictate how much money you're going to end up spending. You could spend anywhere from $20 a month, $15 a month, all the way up to hundreds of dollars a month if you so choose. Now, I'm not a collector because I drink everything that I buy, so I don't consider myself a collector. But I do love trying new bottles. So from that standpoint, it's not quite a collection, but I do add new things to it. I'm not just sticking to one thing. Oh, this is what I like and I always drink it. If that's what you want to do, I don't care. That's fine. There's a lot of bottles that I've found that I really like that I definitely will buy more of in the future, but I'm still in the exploration phase. So if you are more on a budget or you don't really want to spend that much on bourbon, fine. There's a lot of great bottles you can find for cheap. Anything from the very old Barton 100 proof bottle up there, which is $13. This is like my third bottle of it. I would drink it again and again. Neat. And it's fantastic. You could easily get away with that. Old Forester 100 proof signature label, $25. Great ones. A little higher, Knob Creek around 30. Probably one, if not the favorite of all time for a budget drinker. It's way up there. It's super great value. 9 years old, 100 proof, great value, great flavor. So there's that. If you want to ball on a budget, you definitely can. There's a lot of great whiskeys you can enjoy without breaking the bank. If you're like me and you want to explore a little bit more, there's a lot of options. The most I've ever spent on a bottle of whiskey is probably around $110 after tax, including tax. I haven't been able to break past that barrier. I just can't bring myself to it yet. But who knows? Maybe in the future I'll find something that I think is worth it. between $30 and $100, you can find so many great bottles. Any of the Michter's bottles, except the rye, I just can't get into it. The American whiskey, the sour mash, the straight bourbon, those are all great. All kinds of Balcones bottles. You know I love Balcones. The True Blue 100 proof, the True Blue cask strength, those are both within the $30 to $100 range. Lineage, it's a single malt, a little off the beaten path there. Good stuff though. Booker's is still coming in at $100, under $100 in a lot of cases. I've seen more and more where it's $99.99 before tax, so that's creeping up there. But that one's solid, of course. Even the bad Booker's batches are still way better than a lot of other bourbons, so always a fan of Booker's. You can have a great range, a lot of bottles you can get within that price range. There, not to mention Old Forester, I said the 100 proof for the budget level, but the 1920, fantastic bottle for around $60. Fantastic, just amazing. You can find it easily and consistently, and it's always amazing. But anyways, if you are the more adventurous type, you get a little bit more freedom with your budget, and you want to chase the unicorns, the fancy bottles, go for it. Knock yourself out. I've done that a couple times, and I've really learned, if I haven't tried a bottle, don't go spending way more than it's worth without trying it first. Now, if you know that you like it and you're still willing to shell out for it, all right, well, I have a little bit more respect for that. But if let's say you're somebody who just collects bourbons just to have them, come on, man, what are you doing? Drink that stuff. It's good. Try it. Now, I don't care if you choose to spend buckets of money on bourbon every month. What I do have a problem with is if you are paying way over MSRP for allocated bottles. And the reason why, I don't care if you're spending your money. That doesn't affect me at all. What does affect me is it perpetuates the idea that it's okay for these store owners to jack up the prices because they know somebody's going to pay it. And then it ruins it for everybody else because now we see Eagle Rare for $80, $90 instead of $30, $35. Stag Junior is the one allocated bottle so far that I have found to be worth way more than the list price, which is $50. That one I would overpay on. That's my unicorn. So again, if it's something you know that you really love, I can understand that. You just want to have it. I get it. But if you're just building up your collection and you're willing to blow all kinds of cash on it, keep in mind, if you keep paying those high prices, it's only going to get worse and worse. Just some food for thought. Whatever direction you choose to go in, other than never opening any bottles and just hoarding a bunch, open it, enjoy it with friends. Otherwise, there's lots of options that you can have with bourbon and whiskey. So don't feel like, oh man, I can't afford all these cool bottles. I guess I'm just some kind of schmuck. No, there are great bottles that are super affordable. And just because you have all kinds of cool bottles doesn't mean that they're the best tasting out there. So thanks for tuning in. I look forward to sharing future videos with you after you subscribe to the channel, of course. Until next time, cheers.